back for part 2 of a semi-abstract watercolor portrait painting. So in part 1 I forgot to show you the picture of my wife that I'm working from, so here it is. So I'm putting some more dark in and some light spots. Started working on this, and as I was going through, got about halfway done with the project, and I was about ready to start over. And then I thought, well, I'll go ahead and try to salvage it. The end result was okay. I'm okay with it. It's not exactly how I wanted it to turn out, but it was a learning process for me as well. So I started laying in some yellows and oranges, and as I was doing that, I kind of got a little carried away. You'll see that here in a minute, and started getting a little crazy with that, and really wasn't happy. So I was able to rework it a little bit and make it a little bit better. So the yellow is kind of hard to see from where we're at here, but you can see I went ahead and put a yellow water droplet in, and that's in the style of Laovan, which is what we're trying to do here. It was a little bit premature for the water droplet. I ended up having to work around that. It was a little premature putting in the strands of hair as well. I realized that kind of needed to go in later on. And again with the blue water droplets as well. So here I'm starting to go a little bit more crazy with the yellow. There is quite a glare there, and makes it difficult to see the yellow. I might have to try to do something about my lighting to adjust that so you can see that a little bit better. So we'll talk more in another video about the color wheel, but basically we'll be discussing some concepts as far as like complementary video correction. I'm sorry, the complementary color. Complementary color to like the blue that I'm using is orange, and then the blue violet would be a yellow orange, and then the violet would be yellow. So those are basically the colors that I'm working in. So in Lavon's paintings, he basically he has all his portraits he does, for the most part, pretty much are the women have either black hair or really dark colored hair. Where my wife is blonde, so it was kind of interesting to see how I would try to tackle that as far as making her blonde, but still using other colors. So you could just see me lifting up some paint. I wasn't happy with where the paint was, so kind of lifted it back up again, like we talked about in part 1. So the red decided to use for my background. I hadn't used much or any red actually up to that point, so I thought it would be a nice color to put in the background, and red would go real nicely with the blues and the yellows. So here I'm actually using a white acrylic paint, and it's watered down, and I'm just putting in some highlights. So a quick shout out to my brother Antonio for making me some music to play in the background. Turned out really good, and he's gonna make some more for me, and maybe try some different styles to play in the background. But I really appreciate it, Tony. So here I'm just putting some more highlights in. Using a white, a really watered down white acrylic. And I wanted to go back in and put some darker colors around the edges. I really kind of wanted to make it pop, and put some more of those paint drips, I should say. Really can't tell. It's looks like it might be cut off a little bit, but I'm just putting in some purple and some more red up top. And then in a minute here I'll be putting just some splattering a little bit of paint, some red and purple all around. But thanks guys, thanks for coming back and watching part 2. I have a bunch of really neat projects lined up, so come back and we'll have something else for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you for next time.